What is up, everybody? I am your legendary commander, and welcome back to the test range where we discover all the things I know you have questions about. For example, does barbed wire kill zombies? Well, short answer, yes, that's what that zombie was doing right there. She had died to this barbed wire, but we're going to show you how effective it is, and why maybe certain barbed wire is better than others, and we're going to discuss it all here. So, ground barbed wire is essentially, well, not necessarily effective at killing zombies, but at the same time, it has its own rewards. You would have to have a mile long of this barbed wire to effectively kill a zombie. The reason why? Well, they walk through this barbed wire. This barbed wire does not stop a zombie dead in their tracks, it slows them down. So if you're needing to pop shots at them, this might be what you want, because it's just going to slow them down. It's going to injure them slightly and eventually kill them, but it's going to take a long while. However, while the zombie does run through it, it actually does not totally destroy the barbed wire when it runs through it. It damages it slowly, which means the zombie will eventually destroy it, or a horde of zombies will eventually destroy it. However, it's going to take a long time, and that means you can use this on multiple zombies, and use it to stop a horde from advancing, maybe. So I chose one of the weakest zombies, and essentially, after all that work trying to get her to run through this fight, she took off and ran a random direction. Don't know why, I guess she realized she might as well just kill herself anyway, so she did it the quick way and went to the spikes. And if you watched my previous video about spikes and zombies, you can tell actually how much health she really had by how many times she broke those spikes. She still had a way to go. But, as you can see, it's not the most effective, and by the time you would have done that, you could have just put up a ton of wood spikes to do the same job. So now let's move on to a different type of barbed wire that will actually stop the zombie dead in their tracks. So an important thing to remember is a zombie basically will find the path of least resistance, and how they really determine that seems to be by the number of objects in their way. So what I've done is I've set up basically a little box on my right and left side. Got a bunch of frames to block the zombie from coming in through that way, and got barbed wire in front of me and behind me. And, okay, yeah, first zombie did not go where it was supposed to. Okay, let's just spawn another zombie, and let's see if it will pass through the barbed wire. Get her attention, drop out. That way she'll come right towards us. So as you can see, the zombie doesn't really care. It's going straight for us because there's not a million objects in our way. If there are too many objects in the way, she'll circle around, like she did with the spike videos. You can see it stops it dead in its tracks. It cannot actually get through. However, you will also notice it is hitting it, and it's causing damage. Now, it's actually weird what it's doing here. It's hitting it, and, well, it's damaging it, as well as when it touches it, it damages it. And it eventually passed through. I'm in God mode, so it couldn't get through. And then here it comes, trying to come through it again. Zombie isn't the smartest thing in the world. Now, while I was in there, I figured I should do one other thing, and that was test to see if the zombie could hit me through the barbed wire. The answer to that is no. The blood you saw was actually me poking the barbed wire. The zombie itself couldn't hit me, and I wasn't even in God mode. So a few other quick tests I decided to do was to go ahead and put another layer of barbed wire lower than it, and see if the zombie would break the bottom one over the top one like it does the spikes. And it's kind of no and yes. So the zombie is poking both sets of barbed wire, but what happens is the bottom one is taking the damage initially, but when the zombie swings, it damages the top one, meaning it's deteriorating the top one slightly less than the bottom one. Now, is the zombie taking more damage now that there are two sets of barbed wire? Well, it doesn't seem like it, because even when I walk up in there with two of them, it doesn't feel like it, as it almost seems like I'm just hitting one set of barbed wire. And it just means it's a slightly longer barrier and just too high instead of one, which you could just lay the top layer and then maybe one of the slow barbed wires underneath it. A positive note with the barbed wire, though, while it stops it in their tracks, you could technically create a funnel and shoot through the barbed wire because, as you can see, she's not doing too well. So when we break this all down at the end, the barbed wire that hangs off the wall seems to be more effective at killing zombies, and it does stop them dead in their tracks, which you can then shoot them through it, so you could technically create a funnel. The other barbed wire is a slowing mechanism, and it doesn't fully stop them. However, the zombie doesn't try to destroy it like it would a set of spikes or the other barbed wire that attaches to a wall. Overall, I could see the uses of the barbed wire, and if you have the material laying around, why not? But I'm a big fan of the spikes at this point, and I would probably just go and build more spikes. But guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you learned something in this video. I hope it was helpful. If it did help you, please hit that like button, subscribe, maybe even share it with your friends. Get this kind of content out there, because I'm trying to push out some new 18.2 and better content than that 15.1 and 16.1 stuff we're seeing. 16.7. But y'all take care. And I'll catch you next time.